Book of Crypts was released in 1991 to serve a purpose. At that time there were only 2 mid to high level adventure modules. Book of Crypts would be kind of a stopgap to buy time while more adventure modules could be released. This was a good idea, but the execution was not well done. Book of Crypts was written by Dale Henson and J. Robert King and contained 9 short adventures ranging from low to high level. The adventures suffer from either one of 3 main problems. They require a lot of backwork for a short adventure, they don't feel like they take place in Ravenloft, or they're just plain out bad. There are only 2, maybe 3 adventures I would use. The rest, I would just forget about. The first adventure, Bride of Mordenheim, is for 2 to 4 levels and takes place in Lamortia, a domain of the core, and detailed in the core set. Mordenheim himself appears in this adventure. Mordenheim is kind of the cold Dark Lord of the domain, though he's not really evil, and is Ravenloft's version of Dr. Frankenstein. All in all, it is a good adventure and can set Mordenheim up to be a reoccurring NPC. Blood in Moondale is for 3 to 5th level characters and takes place in the nondescript town of Moondale, which is located somewhere in Ravenloft. The players will be part of a hunting party tracking down a murderous werewolf. At its base, it is a good adventure, but it requires a lot of backstory by the DM. See, the Ravenloft werewolf here turns out to be the captain of the hunting party, who the players are supposed to have a relationship with. Yet in the adventure, no relationship is set up, so a DM will have to be pretty good at doing that. The Dark Minstrel for levels 3 to 6 takes place at another nondescript location named Claveria, somewhere in Ravenloft. Players are invited to the home of a local Baron Evensong, who invites them to dinner. After dinner, the players learn they are trapped in the house for 100 years and will die of old age if they can't find a way out. The Cedar Chest for levels 4 to 8 takes place at the nondescript town of Armikos. Seeing the pattern here? Located somewhere in Ravenloft. The players must thwart a serial killer who has seemingly come back from the grave and began killing again. The big twist in this one is that the killer is possessing one of the players, so again a lot of backstory is required by the Dungeon Master. Corrupted Innocence is for 5 to level 7 and can take place anywhere. The players rescue a little girl who is actually an Armorian who tries to turn the players against each other. The problem with this one is that right from the start you can tell she's evil and up to no good, and the players will never fall for it. The Riot of Terror for levels 5 to 8 takes place in the town of Aphrodite, which could be anywhere in Ravenloft. Mind Flayers are kidnapping townsfolk and sacrificing them to their god. This one feels like a Forgotten Realms adventure all the way. Has none of the Ravenloft mood or atmosphere to it. However, the adventure itself is actually really good, and if a DM wants to use it, he's going to have to really tone it to suit Ravenloft's strong points and not Forgotten Realms strong points, which this adventure feels like. The Man with 3 Faces is for levels 8 to 11 and is about a man with 3 personalities. It requires a lot of work because each personality changes the town and the landscape with it whenever he switches to that personality. Actually, the adventure is just boring and forgettable and requires way too much work from a DM. The Living Crypt for levels 9 to 12 is an encounter, literally, just to show off the new monster for the supplement. You fight the living wall, and then the adventure is over. On a positive note, the creator of the Living Wall, Nightblood the Lynch, could be a nice reoccurring villain. And he could actually be used in this module, but you're going to have to set up and do your own map of the catacombs and encounters for that place, other than the Living Wall, of course. Death's Cold Laughter for levels 3 to 12, there's a big gap there, requires a DM to tell bad jokes. And no, I'm not joking about this. It requires a DM to literally tell bad jokes from a list of bad jokes in this adventure, and the bad jokes will damage the players. It's about a evil court jester who tells bad jokes, and he's imprisoned the king. It's just there's not much more to discuss about this one. It's not any good, and the bad jokes are just really bad. And if you say these at a game session, it's not going to get the haha it's so bad it's good type laugh. It's going to get, damn, that was lame, you need to stop type of response from your players. So this supplement is pretty bad, honestly, and I would only recommend it for one reason. Of course, if you're a completionist, this doesn't apply to you. You're going to get it anyways, and that one reason is life. See, in the Domains of Dread core set, the island domain of life was created and put in the Nocturnal Sea. The 3 towns of life are Moondale, Clavera, and Armikos, and Baron Evensong was made the Domain Lord. Why him, I don't know. He's one of the weaker people in this book, but nevertheless he was made the Domain Lord. So if a DM wanted to run a campaign in Leaf, then Book of Crypts would be worth getting. Otherwise, don't waste your time or money on Book of Crypts. Dread curses, gypsy fortunes, and danger at every turn. This must be Ravenloft. Into the world of the unknown, the land of dark mysteries, the realm of inexplicable terror. Adventure in a land where nothing is as it seems, where the innocent are evil in disguise. And watch your back, no one can be trusted in Ravenloft. Book of Crypts is 96 pages of the finest and twisted horror. 9 short adventures await you, promising new, hideous villains, and spine-chilling stories of dark minds and lost souls. Be warned, these tales are not for the weak of heart.